Good afternoon po, good evening, or good morning sa ating mga second year MedTech kids. So from 2A to 2B. So ito po yung ating binabanggit last week na video lecture for Prelim Midterm 2. Kasi ang i-discuss ko this week, starting Wednesday and Friday, ay yung lecture 3. Bali, ito yung need natin for compensation dun sa MedTech week ninyo. Okay, so ang topic natin for today ay monitoring and evaluation of health services. So ito yung ating presentation outline. So from monitoring and evaluation of health services na topic title niya. So from evaluation up until monitoring versus evaluation. Okay, so first slide natin. What is monitoring and evaluation? So basically, in any health service and health program, need nating i-monitor at saka i-evaluate yung results ng program to make sure na siya ay successful or hindi. So, best example natin, kunwari, nagpa clean up drive sa lahat ng mga estero, sa lahat ng mga creek, sa lahat ng mga tawag dito, yung mga hindi stranded, stagnant bodies of water sa within Metro Manila. So, yan ay gagawin to combat dengue. So, halimbawa, yung pagkakaayos kulang kung naglilinis kulang lang volunteers, hindi masyadong nakipag-coordinate sa LGU or dun sa mga barangay officials, may chance na kahit nag-clean up drive kayo, mataas pa rin yung dengue cases dun sa area kasi kulang yung ginawa nyo at saka hindi siya paulit-ulit. Baka nangyari isang weekend lang nyo siya ginawa, hindi multiple weekends. Okay? Tapos, where does M&E fit sa program management cycle? Need ang monitoring and evaluation on all cases kasi ang pinaka-concern natin dyan, open to feedback yung all parts nung program management cycle na pwede siyang mabago, pwedeng ma-edit, pwedeng ma-update. Tapos, difference po ng monitoring versus evaluation. So, if you say monitoring, a planned systematic process of observation that closely follows a course of activities and compares what is happening and with what is expected to happen. While evaluation naman, ang kanyang vanilla definition ay a process that assesses an achievement against past criteria and it has a variety of purposes and follow distinct methodologies. Another way to compare yung dalawa po ay ito. So, these are again vanilla definitions. So, out of respect naman sa inyo kasi malamang mga antok na kayo kaya ginagawa nyo itong panghele pag na-send ko na sa inyo. So, self-explanatory na lang po. Pero please note kasi lilinawin ko din, lalabas yung inyong activity 1. Ito ang basis. So, kailangan nyo siyang panoorin. Sorry. Okay po. Tapos, comparison between monitoring and evaluation. So, we have 3 attributes to compare. So, yung attribute, monitoring, and evaluation. So, if you will see here on the table provided, meron tayong characteristics for attribute and also we have clear-cut or precise descriptions for monitoring and evaluation. Okay, so what is evaluation basically? It focuses on 5 goals or 5 settings. So projects, programs, services, processes, and conditions. Ayan. Tapos it may also focus on different aspects of a service or programs. For example, inputs, processes, outputs. A service it will be counted effective if it works. A service is efficient or cost effective is it achieves the lowest practical costs. Tapos outcomes and impacts. So, paki-note na lang ito guys. So, pag nagsasagot kayo ng activity 1, i-pause nyo lang ha. Tapos, we have a saying from Randy Stoker. Evaluation, especially when it is focused on how well an organization or program is meeting its goals, can be quite turbulent. One of the best ways to prepare for and forestall this turbulence is to make the evaluation process part of an overall planning process. Okay, we also have prospective versus retrospective evaluation. So these are the kinds of evaluation that we have here. So first one is prospective evaluation, determines what ought to happen, and retrospective evaluation determines what actually happened. So bali yung isa, ano yung best case scenario, tapos yung pangalawa, yun yung real life case scenario. Tapos we also have, with regards naman sa evaluation matrix, we have two, formative evaluation and summative evaluation. So basically, pag sinabing formative, ang concern niya yung structure and process. Tapos pag sinabing summative, positive or negative ba yung outcome ng program. Tapos we have here a table regarding evaluation matrix. So bali ang ending niya, what should be the program's inputs? Ano, same pala to. Teka. Basically, pag sinabing prospective evaluation, nakakabuo tayo ng mga strategies at saka yung mga ways kung paano ma-monitor yung mismong program. Kapag naman po retrospective, ang nagagawa niya yung yung monitoring strategies niya, kumbaga ma-enhance ninyo siya. Tapos next naman po, components of a comprehensive program. So ang pinaka-ending natin, if ever kayo na yung aabot sa point na kayo naman yung mga gumagawa ng mga health programs ninyo, regardless kung dito or kung halimbawa may mga sinalihan kayong socio-cultural events or socio-cultural groups pag dating nyo abroad or pag nandito na, pag mga doktor na kayo, ang tatandaan lagi, ongoing monitoring siya. So paano ongoing monitoring? Yung feedback natin and evaluation ay consistent at saka laging hindi siya pwedeng once a year lang o kaya twice a year. Dapat every time na meron kayong event nung doon sa program nyo or meron kayong kilos doon, dapat may i-feedback nyo or in-evaluate nyo after. Kasi para alam nyo kung ano yung mga changes. Hindi na siya mag-accumulate. Tapos next, evaluation designs. So we have five characteristics or 5 factors to consider, which are ongoing service or program evaluation. Ano po yung ginagawa nyo na project? Tapos yung end of program, pagkatapos meron kayong parang evaluation para alamin kung gaano siya ka-effective. Tapos impact evaluation, ano yung tingin yung magagawa niya dun sa inyong dun sa community na ginawa niyo nung health program niyo. Yung tingin niyo dapat na impact niya. Tapos spot check, ibig sabihin niyo yung mga biglaang punta. Tapos desk evaluation, dito na kayo gagawa ng inyong mga recommendations para sa susunod na taon kung uulitin nyo siya, ano yung mga changes na gagawin nyo. Tapos, sino po ang allowed na mag-conduct ng evaluation? So, usually if you conduct evaluation, there are 2 ways to do it. Una po ay internal. Kung halimbawa, dun sa org nyo, kayo lang din yon. Tapos, external naman po pag kukuha kayo sa labas. Tapos, trade-offs between external and internal evaluation. So, syempre, merong benefits at saka cons or pros and cons kapag kayo ay nag-evaluate ng kayo lang or kumuha kayo sa labas. So, basically, ito yung laman niya. So, for the sake of benefit, hindi ko na po ito i-discuss kasi siya, kumbaga, self-explanatory naman. So, ito rin po, yung isa pang advantages and disadvantages niyan. So, ino-note ko kasi may mga part ito na lumabas sa activity 1 eh. Baka mamaya pag ang bilis kasi nung lipat ko ng slide, baka ang mangyari, i-pause nyo pa. So, at least ito. Tapos, we also have parang last part na ito. Ito yung guidelines for evaluation, the 5 phases that we have. So, we will start from planning the evaluation, selecting appropriate evaluation methods, collecting and analyzing information, reporting findings, at saka implementing evaluation recommendations. So, ayun. So, that concludes our lecture 2. So, nilagay ko siya sa video lecture. Linawin ko po kasi mamaya ang i-discuss ko sa inyo. Sorry, hindi mamaya. For this week, ang i-discuss ko sa inyo ay lecture 3 na. So, ito yung bali pang-compensate natin dun sa MedTech Week ninyo. So, I'm with the hope na sana pagkapanood, i-subscribe doon o mag-subscribe din kayo doon sa channel ko. Ang tagal na pong 700 niyan. So, hindi naman po nakakamatay kung i-like nyo siya, di ba? Okay po. So, thank you po sa opportunity ulit, MedTech Kids, 2A and 2B. So, hopefully po, wala pong aberya ang mga klase natin for this week. And hopefully, we would be able to continue doing video lectures. Kasi kaysa sa normal lecture natin na napakatagal, inaabot ng 30 minutes to 1 hour. Ito, 10 to 15 minutes lang, okay na. Thank you.